The Art of the Comeback. We are working on our next book with a group of authors who are talking about how they made a comeback, whether it's financial, business, relationships, sports, mental, whatever. Some people out there make more comebacks than others. And so what I want to dive into in this video is there's an art to it. There's a skill set. You need to adopt what it takes to make a comeback constantly. Now, follow me. It's not just about, solving problems and motivation. It's about being able to come back whenever you do make a mistake. Some people out there have it in their blood to just come back after a failure, after a loss, after they lose something maybe they held very in high regards, I guess. Maybe something that was super precious to them. Maybe it was a championship, or maybe it was a big client, or maybe it was a team member. Can you come back from a failure? Can you come back from a mistake? The greatest salesmen, the greatest sports figures, they can get back on the horse and ride better after a failure. There's a magical ingredient to these individuals. If you're able to analyze what makes you great at what you do, is it your wins, or is it what you're able to do after you lose? Think about that relationship, or think about that job. If something doesn't go your way, how do you respond right away? It's important to analyze your own DNA and maybe make an adjustment. Maybe you do need to figure out if there is a weakness in you that says when a loss does come, you suffer for days or weeks or years or months, whatever. The greats out there, the ones we get to interview, the ones we work with, losses and failure, it's just part of the journey, and they learn to love it. The comeback is in them. Whenever they're put down and maybe their chips are down, this is whenever they get their best ideas. This is whenever they feel alive the most. They know that they have their lifeline, their company is on the line, and they try harder maybe. And this is what makes them greater and greater as time goes on. Their value increases. The comeback could be in a sports game, it could be in your finances, money. You lose it, you get it back. You lose it, you get it back. But you lose it, you get way more than you've ever had. What about a game that you played one time, where maybe it was a chess, or was it checkers, or was it hockey, was it football, and these people who are beating you maybe started to get a little bit sloppy, a little bit too easy going, and that gave you a chance to get the confidence back to take them down. That should say something about yourself, and this is what you need to apply to your business or in your life. If you're able to see when other people are getting a little bit too comfortable, and maybe things weren't going your way, but you use that adversity as fuel to maybe come alive and maybe make some really, really good decisions and try harder. This is whenever you can turn something that was maybe a failure at once in your life to the absolute truest level of success. The comeback, there's an art to it. It's not the same for every person, but you got to figure out what makes you tick. Maybe it is putting yourself on the line. Maybe it is putting yourself on video. And that's whenever you get your best ideas, setting deadlines, talking to incredible people. Maybe they inspire you. And this is what you need to come back in your life. I love coming back to places where maybe there was a failure, or maybe there was some type of disappointment. You'll see that some people are able to rise above it, and other people cannot. It's really a mindset thing. If you say to yourself every day of your life, no matter where I go, what happens to me, what comes my way, it doesn't matter, I have the comeback gene. I have something inside of me that says I can make a comeback whenever is necessary. This is what's going to get you through the darkest of days. I mean, entrepreneurship is not just about solving it one time, it's solving problems day in, day out. And you are going to make mistakes, and bad things are going to come your way no matter what. Do you have that gene inside of you that says, it doesn't matter what comes my way, I can figure it out. I have the ability to come back from my mistakes. I can come back from my failures, shortcomings. Started from Zero is all about the ultimate comeback, the underdog story. If you are an underdog, you have that chip on your shoulder. And I think it's a good thing. You know, I've always had this chip on my shoulder. I've always wanted to prove people wrong who maybe put me down in life, maybe rejected me, maybe, you know, wanted to highlight my mistakes. This is what makes me me. And this is what makes me, you know, see myself as the ultimate underdog, as the entrepreneur, the person who started from zero. Wherever I go, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna be able to get further and farther if I just stay with it.
What you about to do, bro?
Filming a documentary.
Oh, about what?
Rising from, you know, abandoned buildings back to life. No, not yet. He thought we were gonna do a backflip. Of course I ain't gonna be doing any backflips. Look at me, come on. My ultimate comeback story probably has to do with working at a corporation, going into this whole court battle because I had a non-compete clause. And it was amazing because I really felt completely paralyzed. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't say the right things. I couldn't do the right things for a long time because I was in this court battle with this multi-billion-dollar company. And once I was able to finally break free from that and go out on my own with a business, my God, it was sort of like I had a ticket now. I could actually play this lottery ticket and I could play it with skill. It wasn't luck anymore. And that gave me a chance to rise above, make more money, play to my strengths, become more of the person I'm destined to be. And you wouldn't believe the journey I've been on since then, 4 years ago. The comeback of rising from absolute paralyzation of fear and being broke, dead broke, dealing with people who had way more leverage than me. I used all of that to make an ultimate comeback, to build a business, and now, look what we get to do. Travel around, meet incredible people, and hear more of their comeback stories. Just today, I received a bunch of messages from people who have overcome drug addictions, divorces, deaths. One guy talked to me and he said, my wife and children were killed in a car accident and I lost them all a couple years ago. Turns out I met a girl who looks like my wife and we have kids that look exactly like my kids before. And now I'm able to at least live peacefully. And he's able to provide for them the way he wanted to provide for his original family. This guy right here that I'm talking about has become his own hero, I guess you could say. And he overcame the darkest. I mean, can you imagine what that would be like? We're like a celebrity around here. This is pretty cool. But these people, this is an absolute setback that I can't even imagine. I can't even fathom what it was like. I mean, obviously I've lost businesses before, but imagine losing your wife and kids. This man was able to wake up every day, get the strength, still move on with his life, progress, and come back. Now, if he's able to do it one time, he could do it 100 times. If you do it 100 times, you can do it 1,000 times. And it just becomes part of your second nature. So whenever a tire goes flat, you get sick, bills can't be paid, something clicks in your mind that says, it doesn't matter. I can come back from this. I came back from that crazy event. Just imagine what I could do now. Drug addictions, people who have financial distress, losing their houses, bankruptcy, going from zero to multi-millionaires. These people have mastered the comeback. And that's what we're gonna see in our next book. It's called The Art of the Comeback. I think there's 3 things that you could take away from this book. Number 1, everyone can have the gene, the comeback gene. Not everyone does have it, but everyone can have it. Number 2, it's really all perspective. It really comes down to how you look at things. If you look at something that maybe became, devastating in your life, you have to look at it as something that was a bonus or a blessing. It gave you some type of perspective. And the third thing is, you have to look at every negative in your life. Let me see. I'll start with there. And the third thing is that it could be on any level. It could be the biggest thing as if your family dies, or it could be the smallest thing where a business goes bankrupt. It's only a business. It's not life or death. If you can get through that, imagine what you can get through. So the question is, do you have the comeback gene or not? The people we get to interview, the people we work with, they have it in them. They have this ability to come back from anything, no matter how big or how small it is. Sometimes it's as small as their car breaking down or even their business failing. I mean, come on, 85% of all businesses fail. Do you have the comeback gene or not? Are you gonna give up, throw in the white towel, and go back to that job? I hope not. Start your business, get yourself out there, write the book. Even if you fail on your chapter 1 or chapter 2, keep rolling and then you'll go back to fix it. Do you have the comeback gene or not? And if you don't, entrepreneurship is just not for you. But it's the people out there who are able to overcome the drug addictions, whether it's the financial distress or the business failure or relationships dying. Do you have the ability to get back up, wipe yourself off, and come back? And that's what you're gonna learn about in our next book, The Art of the Comeback.